Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Live from Lakota West High School, Firebird Stadium, we're here for tonight's GMC matchup between two 5-0 teams in the conference, Lakota West and Mason. I'm Brent Phelan, along with...
I'm Larry Burks.
And we'll be calling the game for you tonight. So, Larry, tell us a little bit about this, right? These two teams combined to be 11-1 overall and 10-0 in the GMC.
Two top teams in the state. Wouldn't you agree? I think Lakota West at number 3 in the state, and Mason being another excellent team with a good record, and they don't score quite as many points as the West team does, but they are in the trenches, battling on that defensive front, which is really what it's going to take, I think, to knock off the Lakota West team.
So, yeah, it is interesting. If you look at the stats, on offense, Lakota West has 224 points. Mason's only scored 121, so almost half. But defensively, while West has been impossible to score on, 33 points in 6 games, Mason's only given up 38.
Exactly right. I think we're in for a good battle tonight. I think we'll see some really good defensive line play, and I'm hoping to see a really good technical, clean game for both teams.
You know, that has been a challenge for Lakota West. Obviously, we've seen them more than we've seen Mason this year. While they've won, and they've won easily for the most part, they haven't been very clean, right? Number of penalties, some turnovers. They haven't had that perfect game yet.
Correct. I think if you get ahead 21 points and you let your guard down and you start jumping off sides and you start losing the fundamentals and start holding and getting dumb penalties, that translates later on in the season if you don't correct it right away. And I sure do hope to see both teams complete a great game tonight. And I'm predicting, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to predict West by 13.
All right, so we've got a prediction on the board. So tell us a little bit about Mason. Mason, I know they've got some balance, right? 754 yards passing, 676 rushing, so pretty good balance.
Good size, too. They have really good size. Their free safety is 6 foot, 197 pounds. I tell you what, I would not want that guy bearing down on me. On offense, they have some good line size. I imagine they're quick and explosive off the line, and the quarterbacks are both good size.
Yeah, and what's interesting is, right, they do use 2 quarterbacks. And interesting the size dimensions of the 2 guys, right? 6 foot 225 for Quentin Kaler.
And look at Larson Brown.
It's 6'3", 200.
I tell you
right?
what, I'd put them both in and put them both out at wide receivers too. Could you imagine moving them around in a multi-quarterback set?
And I believe Kaler has caught 3 passes on the year, so that's not out of the realm of possibility. So here we go. Tyler Bond spotting the ball to kick off for Lakota West. So we're about to get going. What else should we look at right off the get-go?
Look for a good running attack from the Comets. I think they have a really good quarterbacks, good solid running backs, and I think you're going to see some decent running game early on.
So Bond has put a lot of balls in the end zone for touchbacks.
There's
no exception.
Right.
And that is a weapon, right? I mean,
exactly right.
In high school football, when you make the offense start at their own 20-yard line, it's got to be a relatively small percentage of time do you go down and get points. I mean, 80 yards,
right?
That typically is going to take quite a few plays, and it's hard, right? Yeah. In high school, I mean, you get a couple penalties, turnover. It's hard to have 8 or 10 consistently good plays.
Right, and since you don't have that world-class speed as a bullet, you don't really run the opportunity. You don't have the opportunity of someone bobbling a kickoff and getting a fumble or something like that because they're just too far away, right? So getting them in the end zone and getting them out on the 20 is a great weapon.
So here we go. Mason will line up in the I formation, traditional fullback behind.
There you go.
And tailback following the fullback right up the middle. It's they used to call that a dive. Yep. Well, actually, in this case, it would be a belly because there was a lead.
Yep.
Up the middle.
In some instances, and I'm not sure if this is one, but the ISO.
So we're going to see it again here, right? It's just going to be, and actually it was a little counter motion to the right with the lead guy. So he did go up on his own, right up the middle, gains quite a few yards. So nice play right off the bat, and that'll be a first down.
Again, historically, West has shown some real vulnerability in the run game. Oak Hill ran the ball pretty well in the first quarter against them. And I think that's what you're going to see more of. But they always seem to make corrections at the right time.
Sweep to the right. Boy, look at the speed.
That was good pursuit on the outside. Great tackle.
Yeah, we see number 1, Malik Hartford, the Ohio State commit, in there. And I tell you, that's a hard road to hoe against Lakota West. Trying to run the ball wide.
Watch the close. Watch how quickly they close.
You're just going to see right here they come through. And it's not one. I mean, Hartford's there, but the linebacker, right there. I mean, it's a lot of people there for Lakota West. So, that's Michael Brandkamp, who's also there from the middle. So here we go. That's a loss on the play of 3. It's going to be 2nd and 13 for Mason.
Brandkamp, look at him. He's 6 foot 202. What a great size for a linebacker.
So shotgun, hands it off. And it's a small gain up the middle. He's going to get maybe back to the original line of scrimmage, right? We'll see they end up marking it. Going to be 3rd and long is what we know it's going to be here.
Here we go. We've got a 3rd and 9, and Lakota West is going to what do you think? You think they're going to blitz here? Do you think they'll try and get that quarterback, or do you think Comets are going to run?
I tell you, I think they are going to throw the ball, and I think with the defensive backs that Lakota West has, you feel pretty good about allowing them to play one-on-one in the back and send a linebacker or send somebody off the edge. So here we go, 3rd and 9. That was number 32, Shelvin
Blitz,
Hippett.
44 guy.
Come right through him, boy.
Yes, beautiful play.
Right,
nice blitz.
Yeah, and you're going to see that right away. Just came right up the middle there. That's Micah Markley.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to see it here. Micah Markley, 44. You're going to see comes right through there. Both defensive linemen do a great job of engaging. You'll see number 11 there. That's Jacob Asbeck took on a man and pushed him right back in there. But yeah, Markley was not to be denied there. So here we go, 4th and way long, 19 yards to go for Mason.
Yep, back at the 20.
And that's the other advantage. Oh, good pressure.
Wow, they had 3 guys.
Going to come up, call fair catch around midfield. Looks like that's going to be Brendan Remy out there with the catch. So Lakota West is going to start out at midfield. And that's the other advantage, right, of kicking the ball into the end zone. If that other team doesn't move the ball at all, you get great field position.
Right. It starts you out on a great path on the offensive end of the ball.
A lot easier to score from the 50 than from your own 20, right? That just getting out there to almost even plus territory. We're going to see Mitch Bolden, number 7, in shotgun formation. No backs in there with him, so that means we're going to have 5 receivers, 3 top, 2 bottom.
Yeah. Mitch is Lakota West Superman, right? I mean, he can do everything. He can run the ball. He throws the ball really well. Look at that.
Nice,
beautiful pattern.
Yeah.
Nice call. They had 2 outs, and
Trent Lloyd with the catch.
Right, and he and Bolden picked the under route, and he was wide open, and no one near him.
A nice gain of about 19 on this. You're going to see Lloyd just from the slot there, just does a quick out pattern, gets the ball to him in space, and and he's
yards after catch, right?
He's hard. I mean, look at that. Even after contact, still another 5 or 6 yards for Trent Lloyd. And if you look back, the one game where Lakota West offense struggled a little bit against St. X, he wasn't on the field.
Right.
Bolden and shotgun again. Going to throw the ball in a quick slant to Brennan Remy.
Good pivot.
Yeah, and Brennan is the leading receiver in the GMC.
Right. And that's the thing. Mason has one individual in the top 5 in the categories in the GMC. I think it's receiving. Nice
job by Mitch Bolden there. If you saw that, he looked to the right, pulled the safety over, and then went back to the slant on the left side. And again, Remy after the catch, another 4 or 5 yards.
Right.
So two plays, 30 yards.
Yep. West has 3 leaders in the GMAC, Bolden in passing, Remy in receiving, and who is it in?
So they are going to pull him down for a loss. What was interesting there for Mitch Bolden is we usually see him scramble pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't find somebody early, he scrambles. He stood in the pocket, and good job from the offensive line. I mean, he had enough time. And the challenge there was he stepped up because of 55 on the outside, and right at the same time, one of the interior defensive linemen came in and got him.
The third person is Jacob Asbeck with sacks. He has 6.5 sacks. He's leading the conference.
So here we go. It's going to be 2nd and long now for Lakota West after that. See what they can figure out here. Bolden rolling right.
Oh.
And there you go. Again, he's pretty elusive in the open field, but Roy,
he made a little something out of nothing.
He got a few yards there, but he rolled so deep that even though he ran the ball after he decided to run it for 8 or 9 yards, it was really only a gain of 2 or 3.
That's right.
So we're going to see it here. They started from their own 26-yard line. Here he is. He's back past the 35.
They did a really good job of containing him. And he did a really good job of getting back to the line of scrimmage and making a little something out of nothing.
So here you go, 3rd and 15 from the 25-yard line. So big play here for the Lakota West offense. They're going to blitz off the outside. I don't know if
yeah, they got him.
Yeah, they sure do.
Good play on defense.
Yeah, that was the blitz on the outside really screwed up the play. When Bolden saw that, tried to step up the middle and right into pressure, and that was really a good defensive scheme from Mason.
Well, I wanted to bring up the leaders in the GMAC. That West has 3 leaders, right? And the Comets only had 1 in the top 5. What that tells me is they're 5-1 and 5-0 in the conference. They're consistently good across the board. So you're looking at a good team that has a lot of good players on it, and when they can play together.
Great kick.
Nice kick.
45 yards from Tyler Bond.
But when they can play together, they will do very, very well.
You know, it didn't make it by much, but it counts just the same.
Right.
So, wow, there you go. And there's the thing, right? Their offensive drive got stalled, but because they started at the 50 and because they have a kicker, they get 3 points out of that without a whole lot of offense. 2 plays of success and the rest not much, and they get 3 points.
Well, I'll tell you, Brent, kickers are important. I was a kicker in high school, and I was terrible because I was the running back. So if you're fortunate enough to have a kicker that can kick the ball 35, 36, 40 yards, you're in a great position.
You know, and if you happen to watch that Bengal game last night.
Exactly right.
I mean, that was a big field goal from 57 that McPherson made. Now, you know, that ended up putting him in the position.
Yeah, 57 yards, is that all?
And what I think the graphic showed it was good from 64.
64, yeah, I was just going to say. I was watching it on TV, and I saw it was good from 64.
So here we go.
That's amazing.
Tyler Bond is going to line up again to kick off from his own 40. So let's just see again. I mean, can he put another touchback and put that defense in a great position? Bond kicks.
It's even deeper.
It's through the end zone.
Yep.
So once again, Mason starting at their own 20, down 3-0, now 6:19 to go in the first quarter.
Right.
That's tough. I mean, right? You need to get, 5-6 first downs if you don't have the breakaway guy to get even in field goal range.
But there's one issue with that, Brent, that I just thought of, is you get into the playoffs and you get into these teams that have some real good speed, that they're not afraid to pull it 2 or 3 yards out of the end zone and run it out.
Well,
okay, but these West players, they don't have that many opportunities to make those stops. Let's hope they're working on that in practice.
Absolutely.
Because I haven't seen it happen yet this year in the 2 games I've broadcasted.
We sure haven't seen much of that this year. But you're right. And you're going to be tackled for no gain there. Right, ran it right up the middle, right into the teeth. Again, I see Markley 44 involved in the middle. I see several Lakota West players. Brandcamp number 5 again, right in the middle. Right. But the thing about it is, you play some of these teams, but you're also, as we tend to get later in the fall, we tend to get some wind. So eventually, you're going to be kicking into the wind, and you may not be able to kick it in there.
Exactly right. That's another good point.
Here we go again. Mason lining the ball up, 2nd and 9. Quarterback in the shotgun.
There's another.
You're going to hand it off
nice
to the right
play.
side. Yeah,
that's
nice.
a good play.
Good fake. And
good yardage.
And really, I think it's going to be close to the first down. We'll see where they spot it. It's right around the 30. See if they spot it at the 30 or at the 29. It looks really close.
I don't know if it was designed to go outside, but it looked like West had it plugged up pretty well. And he broke it outside and found the yardage marker.
And they'll make it a
first
first down.
It is a first down.
And what was interesting is the quarterback did a nice job. Even after handing the ball off, he continued his fake just enough to hold the safeties in the middle of the field, and who might have been able to tackle that for a 5 or 6 yard gain. It ends up they tackled him for 9 yards and a first down. So that's pretty
how
significant.
Important that execution is of the play, the fake, the running of the routes, all of that.
Here they go, right back down up the middle, and sometimes just
nowhere to go there.
Nothing there, and Malik Hartford had him around the legs off the ground. Terry getting back, although obviously forward progress is going to give him a gain of 2 on the play. But the other thing about Mason, some people are going to be, why do they keep running up the middle with no success? You have to do that to keep the defense honest, right? That's what sets up the plays to the outside, sets up the quick slants.
Yeah, that brings the linebackers in a little closer. That brings more people into the box. And when you do that, then it opens up your pass game.
And that's what they need. So here we go. It's going to be 2nd and 8 from the 32-yard line. Back in the shotgun again with one back with him. Here comes another guy in motion across.
It's like they have man-to-man coverage on the outside.
And here we go back to pass. He's going to throw it. Wow.
Almost an interception. That was great coverage.
Yeah, that sure was. Malik Hartford, a great there's a shock. Malik Hartford, you're going to see the safety there, reads it early, and because of his closing speed, he almost gets to the ball. Now, the ball was a little bit to the wrong side of the receiver.
A little inside, a little low.
But guys like Minnick, Ben Minnick, number 13, and number 1, Malik Hartford in the back of your defense, and Josh Fussell, who's going to Northwestern, they don't give you much room.
No.
I mean, if you make just a little bit of a mistake, if that ball would have been one more foot upfield, Hartford may be in the end zone.
Well, those players are so good, they make it seem like you have space, you have the time. But in all reality, you don't. They will make it to the ball, and they get there quickly.
So here's the counter back to the
Good
other
run.
side. Yeah, nice job.
Again,
going to be just. I think he's going to spot him for the first down.
Again, West showing a little vulnerability to that run.
So what we're going to see is going to go to the right. You see the back was leading the quarterback to the right, and then cuts back on a counter move. And it's kind of interesting when the counter is the back going against the grain of the quarterback, not two different backs. But once again, he got the 8 yards, just enough for the first down. 1st and 10. But here we go again. Right? They've had to grind out 6 plays, 2 first downs. They've only moved 20 yards.
Yep.
They're still 10 yards from where Lakota West started their offense. Back to pass again. You're going to see some pretty good pressure coming.
Oh, he aired it out, and he's open.
Had him open.
Ooh.
Good. So 2 things we could say there. The first one you could say is, hey, the quarterback underthrew the open receiver. Or we're going to say that number 2, Josh Fussell, good close, right? He was beat deep, but look at that. He closed in there, got right in front of it.
Perfect timing.
And the ball hits back in his helmet. So
there would have been a bunch of oohs and ahs if a flag would have came out on that. I think that was a good no call by the official. He was right there at the right time, and the ball hit him right in the back.
And, the thing about that is, once again, I mean, not to make it over and over a deal, but a lot of defensive backs wouldn't have been able to correct that. He was beat, but he still recovered. It took it had to be a perfect pass to get it there before he could recover.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was a little bit too much air under it, and he got there.
A little short.
It looks like they're going to mark this run up the middle for a gain of about 1. Just ran it straight up the middle, and you're seeing that a lot. And that is Kaler, Quentin Kaler, who's sometimes quarterback, sometimes running back. Actually has 3 catches on the season. Ran that ball for I guess a gain of 1. It looks not sure it's even a yard from.
We'll give him one.
Yeah,
we'll give him the one, right?
I guess it's past the line of scrimmage. How about that? But if you look at it, it didn't make it to the 41-yard line yet.
I think the statistician will give him one.
So we've got a little bit of a break in the action here. The officials are having some conversation. Not sure what's going on. They do have the clock stopped. See what the conversation's about, if we're going to learn anything. So here we go. Another big play, though. But as we talked about, here's what's happening for. So here's what we got. They had this conversation earlier. I bet we're going to reset the clock. They're going over there to Gary Brockman. Gary and all the great Lakota administrators are, on the P. They have their own walkie-talkies, so he can request up to the booth. So actually, the clock moved from 3:22 to 3:17 and is now running. And I only know that because the official was up here before the game saying, "Hey, if we need to reset the clock, what do we do?" And we said, "We'll find Scott Kaufman or Gary Brown." And he said they're all on the same system.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what happened there. So here we go, 3rd and 9, third down of this drive for Mason. They've converted the first 2. See what happens there. Good pump fake.
Another throw.
Yeah, and there's now this time just great coverage, and it's intercepted.
Beautiful close on that. Another great defensive play by Lakota West.
Yep. And that's Ben Minnick.
Defensive backs are not being fooled by anyone.
Good pressure. And here's what we're going to see. You see number 10, Drew Minnick, in perfect coverage.
Right.
The safety, his brother Ben Minnick, who's going to Notre Dame, was able to, he didn't have to make a play on the receiver, made a play on the ball because the other guy had the guy, right? If anything, he stole the ball from his brother. So great defense.
Again, he had a lot of air on it.
Sure did.
If you're going to throw that deep.
So here we go. Lakota West 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Mitch Bolden back in shotgun. Going to bring the ball in the jet sweep. See what happens here. A pretty good defense, although he's going to advance it for almost 5 yards. Pretty good run there from Lloyd, and we see that out of Lloyd a lot now, right? We're going to see him run the ball. We're going to see him catch the ball. What they like to do with Lloyd is get him the ball in space in any way they can because he is elusive.
Exactly right. He's got 14 carries, and he's got 12.1 yards on an average. Now, I know there's a big gain in one of those, but the reason they give him the ball is he's able to break out, get some yards, and break away with some really good speed.
He is hard to bring down one-on-one. So here we go, 2nd and 5 for Lakota West. Again, Bolden back. Going to fake the handoff, so a little bit of play action. He's going to throw it back across the
Nice.
middle to Lloyd. So there you go. So if you're Mason, right, you've got to cover Lloyd bringing the ball in the jet sweep. Then the next time he takes off downfield and they hit him, on a little bit of a post route.
Well, if I was Mason, I would be yelling at my defensive linemen to get their hands in the air and jump, because they're not. Okay, they're getting blocked very well.
We'll see a quick replay here of that. You're going to see Lloyd here at the bottom of the screen. He's going to just kind of run down the field, cut back toward the middle. There he is. Advance the ball at the 45. They are going to run the ball this time. Oh, stopped right
Nice
in the
stop.
hole. Looked like there might have been a hole there, and number 44 for Mason just filled it. That's exactly what you want to see.
That's Kai Wolfel.
Kai Wolfel.
He's
Right?
5'11", 175 pounds, but he plays like all of 190, I bet.
And he's
Did you
been.
see how hard he hit him?
Look at this, and he's a leading tackler. Now we
Yep.
see why.
Boom.
Boom, right there. Helmet right
Good.
straight.
Good
Drove
stop.
him, kept his legs moving. 2nd and 10. That was a.
He doesn't look 175.
No, he looks a little thicker than that,
Yep.
doesn't he? That was a nice play on the defense. Bolden back, 2nd and 10. See what they do here. Haven't had much luck running the ball yet. Bolden's going to try to tuck it. Still.
Let him go.
So he actually is going to make it back almost to the line of scrimmage. Probably going to be a loss of 1 there. It's interesting. There are only 3 receivers out in the pattern.
Right.
He had time. They used to call that mass protect, right? You're going to see that there. I mean, he had some time to throw it, but there wasn't. And 4 receivers do go out. But let's see what happened here. Why? Just had some time. But the nice thing that Mason's doing is their interior defensive line is getting a little bit of a push.
Yep.
So when he tries to step in from the outside rushers, there's not much room there. There's a pocket, but there's not much room for him to step forward and still throw the ball, still see what's going on.
It also obstructs his vision.
Absolutely.
Right, so he can't see even if they are wide open.
3rd 11 with 20 seconds to go here in the
There
quarter.
he goes.
He's going to try to run, see if he
Nice.
can break through there. He's going to get about 4, maybe 5, but that's going to make it 4th down at the 48 or 49-yard line. So as the quarter ends, Lakota West will be punting.
Yep.
So, again, pretty good of defensive series there from Mason. They've done a really nice job against the run. So at the end of 1 quarter, Lakota West 3 and Mason nothing. So welcome back here. There's Coach Tommy Bolden. Welcome back to Firebird Stadium for this matchup, 2nd quarter between Lakota West and Mason. So 3-0 Lakota West. They're about to punt from near midfield. Larry, what have we seen? Anything different than you expected?
No, really good, solid defensive play. Like both teams expected to see this. I think West has again shown some vulnerability to the run, but they bow their backs and they stop them when they need to.
And what's been interesting is Mason's done a really nice job against the run, stopping Lakota West run. They've been pretty one-dimensional throwing the ball other than the jet sweep, and they've been really good keeping Mitch Bolden, from running the ball, scrambling out of the pocket, where he's been deadly this year.
Right, and Mason's passing game has been going deep. I think they need to look
here he
at
is.
some more
Oh,
strategic.
boy. So there's a 1st down, although there's a flag thrown. I think it might have been holding on Mason, holding the Lakota West gunner. But there's the other thing. You're at midfield. You've got Ben Minnick, your punter, committed to Notre Dame as a defensive player, rolled out like a rugby-type punt and was successful running the ball for the 1st down. Didn't make it by much, but made it by enough. And I think we're going to find out that flag was, a hold. On the outside, the Mason player was trying to keep the Lakota West gunner from getting downfield.
Right.
So, success. Wow. That was
Exactly
a big,
right.
We're going to see it again here. You're just going to see Ben Minnick. He just kind of rolls right. You're still not – is he going to punt? Is he not? And then he just tucks it and runs. And
I think he had the option. I think he had the option to go ahead and kick it away, or if he thought he could get it. Isn't it nice when you have talented athletes that you can depend on to do things like that? It gives you so many more options in your playbook.
Yeah, that was number 20, Nick Sailors, the Sam linebacker for Mason, almost stopped him short of the 1st down. Now, of course, the advantage for Lakota West would have been, even if he'd been stopped, they had a 5-yard penalty.
Right.
So they would have been able to either punt or went for it on 4th and 4. So here we go, 1st and 10 for Lakota West from the Mason 44-yard line. but that's one of those you need to take advantage, right? You have to score after you do a play like that, a fake punt. You know, Mason's defense like, man, we just got off the field. What happened? And
Again, Mason's getting really good surge.
There we go with Lloyd.
Nice broken tackle.
As you know, exactly what we talked about, right? He caught the ball for a 5-yard gain, made the first guy miss, cut the ball downfield, cut inside for a second guy miss, and before you know it, Lakota West is in field goal range.
Yak yards, right?
Look at this. So you see him catch it at the 39 or 40, makes the first guy miss, cuts it inside of the 30, gets another, 6-7 yards down to the 22-yard line. He's a weapon. He is a weapon. He is just elusive. You know, he's not the tallest guy. He's not the heaviest guy. But, boy, he's just elusive and is hard to bring down.
And he catches the ball.
And he catches the ball. Here we go. First and 10 for Lakota West. Going to go back. You see a back coming out of the backfield. See what he wants to do. Great protection.
Look at all that time. And
Touchdown.
He caught the drag in the back of the end zone.
But as you said, I mean,
all the time in the world.
Wow. Mason, and what's sad is for Mason, they only were rushing 3. They had 8 guys in coverage,
right.
But he finds in the back of the end zone, Brendan Remy, as we talked about, the leading receiver in the GMC. How in the world do you let him go? But as a defensive back, I mean, that was 7 or 8 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to see this. They're rushing 4.
Great
right?
blocking.
So 7 guys in a pattern, but just wonderful. And he actually got pressure right as he threw it. Threw it to the post, and Remy was going around the back of the end zone and jumped up and made the catch.
Which is smart play. They've done that before.
So Bond good with the extra point. Well, that was big, right? Fake punt, great play, pass and catch and run by Lloyd. Great blocking from the line, touchdown to Remy in the middle of the field.
You have to give credit to Lakota West. They took advantage of the bonus that Mason Comets gave them with the fake punt. Got a great pass on the outside with some good yards after the catch, and then boom, they struck for a touchdown.
And we need to talk a little bit about that Lakota West offensive line. I mean, they've done a really nice job so far today. I mean, you got Tony Curtis and Johnny Simpson and Alex Key and Mike Gertz, Caden Fletcher. I mean, wow, he had all day.
Good size, good strength, good blocking fundamentals, right? That's what you're looking for.
And you know what we saw from Mason? They played very straight up. Rushed 4, dropped 7. Very traditional defensive play. I think they're going to have to send a 5th or 6th guy, right? Because when they got some pressure early, they sent somebody. They've also been a little bit what they used to call a spy, like kind of that linebacker. Just keep an eye on Bolden because he's been so effective running the ball. So here we go again. Tyler Bond kicking the other direction. Right. See what happens this way. Looks like it is going to be in field of play.
There we go.
So there they go. They're now they're going to try a little bit of a fake here.
I don't think it's going to pay off for him.
So that's a play. I mean, we've seen through the years, mostly in college, where all the players come together, try to fake who has the ball, and they all run different directions, and you hope your guy gets loose. The negative of it is there's no blockers because all the guys are in the little huddle, right? We're going to see.
And the negative of it is when the guy gets the ball, he's not getting yardage.
So look at that, 5 guys all back there. And there's Jacob Asbeck. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm taking the guy with the ball down at the 12-yard line.
I'll tackle all 3 of you, right?
That was great. You guys sort out whatever you're doing back there, but when you're all done, I'm going to tackle the guy with the ball.
Right.
Nice play by Jacob Asbeck, who we see make a lot of nice plays on defense, as you mentioned, leading the GMC in sacks. Also on special teams.
There's another.
Yeah, just going to run the ball right up the middle. That's been kind of the we've seen that a lot, right? That is first down, run the ball up the middle.
It looked like he was getting some good yardage. However, it looks like he only got a yard and a half.
About a yard. Yeah, that was that's nice. And Shelvin Hibbett, he's been over he's over 300 yards on the year, and so I mean he's been pretty successful running the ball, about half of the rushing yards this year.
Right.
But again, now so we talked about how tough it is to start from your own 20. This time they chose to start from their own 12. So here we go. Lakota West. See motion
there's
for
5 yards.
So certainly Lakota West came across, and it looks like if you look at the official on the far side, he threw his flag toward the defensive side, which is usually the indication that that's who the penalty's on. I was interesting. I was talking to an official. They were explaining that to me because if you notice, guys on both ends threw it to that side. That way they know they're on the same page. If you see it each way, then you'll see them come together and talk.
Yeah, there were like 3 or 4 that jumped.
Yeah, so either they were some.
Oh yeah, and he touched him.
The center moved the ball just a tad bit, but I think it was after he thought the defense was coming across at him. So it's still going to be 2nd and 5. After that, he's going to run the ball up the middle again for just a small gain. You're going to a little bit of an extra push from Mason's offensive line is going to push the guy out past the 20-yard line, but it's still going to be 3rd down and a long one.
I think they need to run the same play. They seem to be getting good yardage off that. 2 yards. Let's see how the defensive line lines up against them, if they go helmet to helmet or if they play the gaps with their
Lakota West,
four-man front.
Yeah, Lakota West there had actually had good contact with him about short of the 20-yard line, but the running back keeping his feet moving and the offensive line helping, he was able to get that pass here. Makes it a 3rd and pretty short for him. So
yeah, it looks like they're got 5-man front there.
So a lot of guys up the middle. He's just going to try to run it straight up the middle, and I think he's going to get it. It looks like the spot on the far side. Yep, there you go, stopping the clock for the 1st down. Boy, it's been interesting. That's at least the 3rd, if not 4th, 1st down for Mason, exactly 10 yards.
Right.
I mean, they're taking 3 plays to get exactly 10 yards. And as we keep saying, that's hard. To go 88 yards, 3 or 4 yards a play.
I think if they continue to move the ball, though, in the increments that they have a good chance of making a good sustained drive. They just have to be more consistent. They don't have to bail out of the run game and go for the long bomb. And
they keep doing that, right? Throwing long, and they'd either get them off track for running the ball, but for the 5-yard penalty there, they would have been in trouble. But here we go again. Let's see. Ran the ball up the middle. Yeah. Gain of maybe 2. I think he's going to maybe get to the 25. So 2nd and 8. What they're doing is they are shortening the game, right? Shortening the number of possessions. And maybe they look at that and say, hey, you know what? We don't want to keep giving Lakota West the ball. Let's try to shorten it down. They're pretty confident in their defense.
Right.
Their defense is, Lakota West giving up 33 points has been amazing. Mason's only given up 38 points. So just a little over six points a game. So, I think that's what they're trying to do is not lose the game on offense. So here we go. He's going to run the ball right up the middle and just nothing.
I think he probably lost a yard there.
So, but how many times have they been 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10? And they've, give them credit. They've converted at least 3 of those.
Yes.
But
this will be tough to convert here because they know they're going to have to pass.
And here's the tough thing, right? So they have to pass. We know they haven't been effective passing it deep. They know, in the back of your mind, boy, if we don't convert this, we're going to give Lakota West the ball with still over 6-7 minutes to go in the half around midfield.
Being on their own 23, this is totally blitz territory for Lakota West. They can send a guy or two, not worry too much because of their defensive backs are talented.
Yeah. And look at that. You've got covered two. Now we're going to roll it over.
There goes the linebacker.
We're going to roll to the right. Quarterback's going to roll out. Oh, good.
Flatted down.
As you said for the other team, that's what they need to get hands up.
Yep.
Lakota West.
There they go.
Great play. It looks like that was Benny Powell, I believe. Tabron, is going to come here. Number 3 comes on the outside. Just one more outstanding athlete on the Lakota West team. There he is, number 3. Came over from Lakota East, and he's a junior here at Lakota West and has been an impact player for him so far this year. And that's hard to do among this defense. They got some talented players.
They can get the ball here.
So, wow.
Punter did a good job of moving out of the way of the punter or the blocker.
Great bounce. It's going to take the ball inside the 35-yard line. So pretty effective play there. You were worried at your own 23 that, gosh, that's 27 and boy, 37 yards is a lot. Well, heck, he got it to over 44-yard net. So that's a great punt.
Exactly right. And I think the best thing tonight that that at the whether it's from this point forward or all the way through the end of the game will be the weather. Look at this football weather. Beautiful out.
It's sure pleasant.
Yeah. Not a cloud in the sky. I can see the drone over the field. It's amazing.
So here we go. We were short a player there on Lakota West offense. So we'll see what we've got. A little bit of confusion there. See if they can get lined up. Finally, there's Bolden in the shotgun with running back in the pistol behind him. See what happens here. We're going to pump fake. Throw it deep. He's got him open deep.
Oh, good tipped. Number 3 for Mason, the defensive back. He did a wonderful job.
Good recovery, right?
He got beat, but he recovered.
Yeah, that's Brennan Remy who got behind everybody. A couple fakes there from Mitch Bolden, and nice recovery there on the defensive backfield, or that would have been a big gain. That's J.C. Deaton.
Yeah, 5'11", 165. He showed some really good speed there.
Yeah.
In making that correction in his coverage, he let the receiver get behind him, but he really closed in on him.
So here we go, kind of like a half sweep. See what Lakota West is able to do there. Not a whole lot.
That was good. That was good defense.
Just a nice play there. We'll see. I think that was junior there, Gonzalez, who ran the ball for Lakota West. I'm sorry, that's Giovanni Wilson, 26. Going to have no gain. Perhaps we'll see that. Maybe they gave a little bit, but no, I think it's going to be 3rd and 7 from their own 35-yard line for Lakota West. So with 6:21 to go, only up 10-0. Kind of a big play for Lakota West offense, and maybe a bigger play for Mason defense trying to get off the field here.
I'd look for a couple outs here on the left side there.
So there you go.
Oh,
intercepted middle of
by
the field.
number 44.
He's got room to go. Going to be tackled
Good
down.
tackle.
Nice tackle by Trent Lloyd at the 30-yard line. But that was
Ty Wolfel.
Wow, big play.
Nice play. That was good fallback defense. Read Bolden's eyes pretty well and just reached out, and he stretched out for that ball too.
Yeah, that's a nice catch. Just cut underneath Remy and was able to advance it back to the 30. And, boy, they needed that, right? I mean, they've shown no ability to move the ball down the field to get it in scoring position. Defense just handed them the ball at the Lakota West 30-plus territory. So see if that gets a little bit of that momentum going for Mason, because, boy, they need it. I mean, their offense has shown nothing to let us think that they were going to be able to score.
Although that was really a good play that you needed in that situation, 3rd and 7. I just think that may have been a little bit better defense than offense there.
So there we go. That Larson Brown hands the ball up the middle, and that time they got maybe 4 or 5 yards. So, but sometimes that happens, right? It's a quick change. The defense is like, what just happened? Why are we back out here? And they were able to run the ball right up the middle. And like we talked about, Shelvin Hibbett, he's run the ball a lot this year. He's had success. He doesn't tend to go backwards. So, if they can keep that happening, maybe they can make something happen here. They're 2nd and 5 at the 35-yard line. Now, the one thing I have noticed, field goals 2 for 6, extra points 13 for 17. Doesn't sound like they have a great kicking game.
They might not. They need to get a little closer.
Tried to run the ball up the middle. Nice cut by the running back.
Looks like he made some good yards, close to a first down.
Yeah, I think he's going to be 3rd and short. But, boy, he did a nice little cut there. It looked like he might be stopped for no gain, and he's advanced it, looks like close to the 21, which is going to make it, see where they spotted exactly.
3rd and 1.
So it's going to be 3rd and a long one there. Yeah, look at that. A lot of traffic inside.
Good hard run.
Minnick grabbed him, and but he did a good job of falling forward even after Minnick wrapped him up. So here we go, 3rd and a long one for Mason at the 22-yard line. This is huge.
Here you're 4-down territory, right? If you don't have a kicker, why not throw the ball into the end zone once here?
See what they do here. They're going to under center again for the quarterback. He's going to hand the ball straight up the middle.
You got first down.
He's
just going to grind it out.
They're going to try here. So that was number 20 running the ball up the middle there. That's Nick Sailors. He's 6 foot, 197-pound senior, and he got enough for the first down. Here we go. We're just going to see. Just going to hand the ball to him going to the left side.
Right off the left tackle.
Kind of a trap. Right. One of the defenders came flying in, tried to trip him up in the backfield, but he was able to keep his feet enough to go forward.
Right. I wonder if that defensive back who was blitzing or trying to stop the run fell or tripped.
Here we got a flag on the play.
Oh, no.
Looks like offsides, yeah. So that's going to be a 1st and 5 now for Mason at the, see where they spot it, but it's going to be a 13-yard line, I believe, yeah.
Again, critical moments with penalties.
And here's the thing with Mason, right?
They've been
getting 2-3 yards a carry. 1st and 5 is very manageable.
Yes,
so
it is.
Quarterback back in the shotgun formation with the running back right beside him. He's going to hand the ball off to Sailor to the right side. He's going to get close to the 10-yard line.
Game.
Yeah, I think we'll see where they spot it, right at the 10-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and 2 because of the penalty. So
do you take a stab at the end zone here with a receiver?
I tell you what, I think I'm maybe a little bit old school in the way Mason struggled, and they've thrown a pick. They've had a couple very close to being picked. you run the ball, you get the first down inside the 10, and try to pound it in. I mean, they've been effective of getting 10 yards in 3 plays or 4 plays running the ball.
You're right. It's a grind. It's a grind. There they go again.
So here he goes right up the middle, and he's going to get the first down, and we're going to have first and goal from around the 6-yard line.
Well, West really needs to push back here.
We're going to see that. You're going to see the running back. I think it's Saylor, 20.
It's 3 or 4 yards at a play. They're really going to have to start to stunt a little or
do something. We still just see beautiful night here in Westchester Township.
Pinch, slant, something. They're going to have to do something to stop that
still
4-yard carry.
Just 3 down linemen. See what happens here. He's going to run the ball, and we'll see if he can finish it out. But he stopped right at the 5-yard line. We're going to maybe just past the 5, so second and goal from 4 or 5 yards.
That's a good stop by West.
Here we go, right? I mean, it was 6. They were at the 6 or 7 yard line, so if they can get 2 yards, they play. They have a chance of having some successes, get in the end zone. See what we'll have here. See if we haven't seen much yet from number 90, Elijah Davis, in the inside there. We'll see if, see what we can have. I'm not sure. Maybe there he is on the outside. See what happens.
Got a fullback in there.
See if they maybe bootleg or anything. No, they're just going to try to run the ball up the middle. And you know what? Good run.
Come close.
Yeah, I think he's at least 2. It passed. Yeah, it looks like they're spotting around the 2. Third and goal from the 2. This is what Mason.
Look at them grind that clock down. You're right, Brent.
This is what they've been effective at.
Yep.
They can look spotted almost to the 1. So 2 plays from the 1 yard line here.
So if you're West on defense here on the 1 yard line, you have a pretty good idea what they're going to try and do, right? They're going to try and run between the tackles.
Now,
so what do you do to stop?
Here's the one if I'm Mason, I think about the bootleg because look at everybody on Lakota West defense is within about 4 yards of the ball.
He's in.
And there he goes into the end zone for the touchdown.
What a good drive.
Now we're going to have a flag there. I think Lakota West, they wouldn't let the guy go after he's in the end zone. He then dropped the ball, so they jumped on it. That's Saylor with the touchdown, number 20. I think they're going to call that on Lakota West because the guy was in the end zone and they didn't let go. We'll see what they end up doing. That, I'm not sure there was enough there that it should have been a penalty, but
that'll be assessed on the kickoff.
Yeah, we'll see real quick here. Now they're talking to the Mason coach. So unless there was something else we didn't see. Yep, they're asking him, do you want it on the extra point or you want it on the kickoff?
I'd put it on the extra point if they're not real consistent at
So it's going to be a dead ball, personal foul. And
if they're not real consistent at the kicking game, you might need that extra.
So we'll see what happens. Like I said, they're 13 of 17 kicking the ball this year for extra points.
That's actually not too bad. Good snap.
Snap, hold, kick.
Nice kick.
Right through the upright. So with 1:13 to go here in the first half, Mason has scored 7, so it's 10-7.
Really good game here.
And they're going to be kicking from out past midfield. So we're going to see it. He's just going to hand the ball to Saylor behind the fullback. Fullback is going to run out. Number 2 runs out to the outside.
Nice kick out on the
and he follows him. And right there you'll see Malik Hartford was, the guy was in the end zone. They're holding on to the ball. The ball comes loose, but
little extra play.
You would assume the whistle was already blown that it was a touchdown. I mean, it was, and the officials were right next to him, so you would think that everybody should have heard it. But regardless of whether they should have or shouldn't, they called it, and Mason's going to be kicking from the 45-yard line. So what do you think they're going to do here? Do you think they just kick it through the end zone and say, hey, Lakota West, we don't think you can go from your own 20 in a minute 13?
If they can get it through the end zone.
I mean, kicking from the 45-yard line of Lakota West, you would like to think you've got a kicker who can kick it 45 yards on a free kick.
We'll find out.
Unless you try to do something like squib it to try to pin him deeper, but
wait.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to kick from the 45-yard line.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you try to squib it. Sometimes you try an onside kick. I just think that's playing with.
Pretty risky.
I think you're pretty happy to get out of this sucker 10-7.
I think so.
And kick it deep. See if Lakota West can go 80 yards.
I really think Mason did a really good job of taking advantage of that turnover.
They did.
And
they needed that.
They did. They did a good job of grinding it out, and you called it. You said, let's just do what works, and that's what they did, and it was a good punch in.
Wow. Well, he did kick it through the end zone. It wasn't
It was a
picturesque.
line drive.
So, but it counts just the same. So Lakota West. So 3 timeouts, minute 13 to go, up 3 points.
Don't be surprised to see another touchdown.
Don't you? Is there any question that Lakota West is going to try to score?
Oh, absolutely not. They have to.
They are not a team that's going to, because
No.
both teams actually have 3 timeouts. So if you're Mason, if Lakota West doesn't have success on the first play, do you think about taking timeouts, try to make something happen?
Well, offenses have 2-minute drills for a reason, and this is it. This is a minute 13 seconds to go, 2 timeouts. They probably won't do anything but pass until they need a run play and feel they can burn a timeout.
So there you go, 4 people
Yep.
rushing.
That's
Bolden's
not good.
going to do it.
They're
Yeah,
gonna have to burn a timeout.
They got pretty good, pretty good pressure there from number 55. That's Bryce Falk, a 6'2", 237-pound senior defensive end, and that was a pretty good play, right? Well,
This is it, tempo.
Lakota West right back to the line of scrimmage, 53 seconds to go, 2nd and 13.
I hope Bolden's not tunnel visioning in on the deep ball, because it looked like to me he had an under route around 10, 15 yards out, open. You don't need to get it all at once. You can chip away at it with 15, 20 yards of play, and you'll be down, hopefully, in field goal range soon. Oh, they stopped him again.
Yeah,
another great defensive stop.
Now, if you're Mason, don't you take a timeout? They sure did. 29 seconds to go. What was kind of interesting, Lakota West had the clock running. Even though it looked like they were hustling to the line of scrimmage, they let like 10 or 12 seconds run before he snapped it, which now is pretty effective because it's going to be 3rd and long, because Bolden tried to do a quarterback draw and Mason defense was right there.
Yeah, this is dangerous territory for Lakota West right now. All it takes is another turnover, and Mason's in scoring position, right?
So Mason has 2 timeouts left. So if you're Lakota West, it's 3rd and 15, 29 seconds to go. If you run the ball, you probably don't get a first down. You probably only use a few seconds. They take a timeout. You're going to be punting the ball to them with still more than 20 seconds to go. Or do you try to throw the ball here and maybe get it? Because that's only going to cost you a couple seconds, right?
You play the first down prevent, right? Make
So-
sure that they don't get the first down, and look for the deep ball. They're gonna shoot for a deep strike here.
So if I'm Lakota West, I'm thinking about trying to throw the ball maybe to Trent Lloyd or somebody in space, and a ball I think I can complete if he gets 2-3 yards if he happens to bust free.
Right.
Great. I just don't
Get
think
that first down, and then get the extra yards after catch.
so. They're back to pass.
You got two safeties.
Bolden runs into his
fumble.
own guy, drops the ball.
Oh.
Wow. He
And a
fell
flag.
back on. No, that's the ball mark.
Oh,
They're
okay.
just indicating it was a fumble.
Okay.
So, wow, he ran into his own man in the backfield and dropped the ball, and fortunately they fell on it, but it's going to be 4th and really long from inside their own 10. Still 21 seconds to go with Mason's 2nd timeout. So there you go, had some time. Good protection. And here he is. He thought the running back was going to come in on the defensive end, and he was going to loop around him. He might have had some yards to run, but unfortunately he collided with his own man and dropped the ball. So 21 seconds to go, 4th and 20 for Lakota West. Ben Minnick punting. Likely Mason's going to have a chance to get this ball in West territory. 1 timeout left. Not much clock left after this.
Well, look for a punt block attempt. They only have one receiver back, 1 returner back.
See what happens here. Good snap. Minnick's going to roll it like the rugby, get him going.
There you go.
Good solid punt. Going to punt it
He's
out
gonna
toward
run it back.
midfield, but he's going to have a little bit of room to work with. He's going to run the ball, advance it inside the 40, so 38-yard line. Still 11 seconds to go. So, wow.
That's a flag.
And I tell you what, if that now another flag. What the heck?
Oh my goodness, what's going on there?
So now he's
3.
spotting the flag is
Okay.
what he's doing.
Okay.
So that means it would be on the return team, right? Because when you're spotting the flag,
Blocking in the back.
a hold or something, because the ball would move from that territory. If it was actually on the defense, you would take it from the end of the play, right? So it wouldn't matter where the actual spot was. So we'll see what happens here. Boy, that could be a big mistake from Mason, and we know it's a personal foul on Mason. So that's No. Yeah, okay, so we're going to see it here on the left side of the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of an extracurricular there on top of the Lakota West guy. Wouldn't
You stay down.
That's Sailor who had the touchdown, and then he does this like big man stomp over him like he's.
While we have this little break here, I want to talk about the Westchester TV crew. What a great job they've been doing. We have 4 cameras, maybe 6 out there, and they catch most all of those interesting plays, right? So, and I just want to tip my hat to them. They're doing a great job.
So 11 seconds to go, 1 timeout for Mason. They're going to start now in their own territory around the 47-yard line. Throws it just straight across the middle. It looks like he's short of the first down.
They have timeout.
So not sure why the clock stopped for a brief second there. Unfortunately for Mason, I think they were hoping to get 10 or 12, which would have automatically stopped the clock. Unfortunately, it was short.
They called a timeout.
So they had to use their final timeout of the half.
Well, here we go. I think we're going to see some excitement here.
Yeah,
I think maybe they're going to bomb toward the goal.
Yeah, with 6 seconds to go, I would assume it's one play.
Touchdown.
So we'll see what happens here. Now it's been interesting because on the deep balls, Lakota West has definitely had the advantage defensively over the receivers. I do know, we've got some couple tall guys there for Mason. We'll see if if that happens. We also be interested to see what kind of pressure Lakota West can get here.
This is a play of opportunity, right? There's an opportunity to get a sack, an opportunity to get a touchdown, an opportunity to get an interception.
A lot happening. A lot potentially happening here. So, of course, for Lakota West, based on the statistics, the most important thing here, don't get a penalty. You don't want to extend it for another play, right? I mean, the likelihood of them succeeding from 45 yards out is pretty small. If you give them another shot at it closer, that improves the likelihood dramatically.
Right.
So for rushing, the quarterback's going to go back and try to get a running start. He's going to get hit from behind. Nice job by Lakota West.
That's it. It's a good half of football.
So that's going to be a sack on the play. So after
opportunity
a half,
for a sack.
There you go. So after a half, Lakota West 10 and Mason 7.
Don't be Randy. Get the fob out. Hi, I'm Justin Eckstein with Westchester Township TV. In partnership with Lakota Schools and Westchester Township, we are now going to be live streaming select games, and we're super excited about it. Feel free to follow us on our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, and you'll be able to see the links to live stream those games. Also follow us on our YouTube channel. And if you would actually like to come out and work with us and volunteer, we have opportunities for that, and you can find that on our website as well, westchesteroh.org. Thanks.
I'm here on the campus of Lakota West High School for this GMC matchup between Mason and Lakota West. I'm Brent Phelan along with...
I'm Larry Burks.
And after 24 minutes of play...
we have the defensive struggle that I was thinking we would see.
So Mason's going to kick off, and wow, that kick's probably going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, that's not the right way to start the half.
You know, we commented earlier in the half, or in the first half, that Mason's kicking game was not necessarily a strength, and that probably supports it right there. So Lakota West is going to start 1st and 10 with good field position. And
really good field position.
I mean, a defensive struggle, right? And why should it be a surprise? These two teams combined in 6 games have given up a total of 71 points. That's less than 6 points a game.
Right.
So both defenses have been strong all season.
And, you know, Lakota West is really known for a strong defense. Look at the talent they have on it. Their offense is very good, but their defense is what teams fear, right? They're the ones that we got to figure out how to get past this defense.
So here we go. Mitch Bolden will start out. Not much running for either team. A little bit more for Mason, but not a whole lot of yards per carry for either team. See if anything different here.
Yeah, it's been run versus pass, right? I mean, Mason, oh, wow. What a great play. I don't know why that was a penalty.
It's not a penalty. Again, it's a
ball
fumble.
marker. Yeah, sorry.
So that was
It looks yellow to me.
So that was Caden Davis, a 6'4", 236-pound defensive tackle who absolutely lit up Trent Lloyd during the play fake between Bolden and Lloyd, and so much so that it knocked the ball out of Mitch Bolden's hands.
Heads up play by Bolden, diving on the ball
Fell
right away.
Back, but a loss of 5 on the play. So Mason came out of there he came out like he was shot out of a cannon. Yeah. So here we go, 2nd and 15 from their 30-yard line now. See what Bolden, Lloyd in motion across the formation.
Look for a pass here.
Going to fake that. It's going to be a screen, you could see, and didn't quite have enough time to get set up. Guy's going to be thrown out of bounds there for a gain of about 2.
Those Mason Comets look fired up, don't they?
They sure do. You know, I would have said Lakota West was maybe a little flat in the first half. Mason maybe similarly wasn't a lot of rah-rah going on, but definitely we see Mason come out of here. So there you go, Bolden. It was supposed to be a screen. You could see them trying to let through, but just not much there. Lloyd,
just good defense.
Yeah, Lloyd thrown
number 44
again. Lloyd thrown out of bounds by that. Yeah, and he is a leading tackler, and he's shown that so far. And when he's made plays, they've been noticeable.
He made the interception.
So here we go, right? And that was instrumental in Mason getting on the board. So here we go, 3rd and 15.
Trips to the left.
Yeah, Bolden back to pass. Pretty good protection. Time.
Hands
got
up,
time.
hands
Still
up.
looking. He's going to roll out. He's going to beat the defensive line. Oh,
there he goes.
Throws the ball down to Lloyd.
Nice recovery. That's a touchdown. Nope, they got him.
Yeah, they're going to throw him out of bounds. It's going to be somewhere, I think, around the 20 or let's see where they spot him, around the 20-yard line. What an athletic play by Mitch Bolden.
That was all Bolden and the receiver reading off a Bolden scrambling.
So
right?
Great protection on the 4 rushing. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Yep. Look at his pocket. Time. Just nothing open deep.
Good blocking.
And you could tell he was going to outrun these 4, but a linebacker is coming up here. You'll see him start coming up. And when the defensive started coming up, he found Lloyd down there. Nice effort from Brennan Remy trying to block down there. Almost sprung him for the touchdown.
Lloyd knew exactly what to do when he started to scramble.
Look at that move by Lloyd.
Nice.
Did you see that?
Good play.
That hesitation took a play that would have been strung out for maybe a yard and made it into a 6 or 7 yard gain. Watch this. He's going to come around the formation. Looks like he's going to go outside to the right, cuts it back in there, and is able to put his head down at the end. And the nice thing about Lloyd, he's not huge, but he ends up plays forward.
Shifty.
Right, and he ends up to play forward.
Right.
He gets that last extra yard. So instead of 2nd and 6, it's 2nd and 4.
It's hard to get a hold of.
So here we go. 2nd and 4 for Lakota West. Ball's on the 14-yard line of Mason after that great play from Bolden to Lloyd. Bolden back. Got one back with him in the backfield. They're going to throw it out to the side here. Nice cutback again. Wow.
That's a first down.
That's going to be a 1st and goal for Lakota West. Boy, it was a really nice job by the defense. Giovanni Wilson was out on the right side. They had him contained.
Yep. Once again, though, you're getting your players, your qualities, talented players, balls in space, right?
And everybody thought he was going to take the ball to the outside. He cut it back in, and he's going to get 4 or 5 yards, 1st and goal.
Down.
So here you'll see it, right? He's way out there. Nope. And look, there were 2 Mason players to the outside.
Nice block.
They had 2 players to the outside, so he cut it inside them.
And he got a good block.
And that is the thing about Lakota West. I mean, they have athletes, right? And I think we're finding they have maybe just a little bit more athleticism today than we're seeing from Mason. There's Bolden back, 1st and goal. He's going to throw this, try to zip it in there. good reaction from the defense. Stepped in front and cut Lloyd off by 26.
That's a good play call there, though.
Tried to make something happen. That's Stephen McCalmont, 5'11", 165-pound corner. That was a nice play, right?
Yes, it was.
He obviously read that Lloyd was going to try to come in on that slant, and he was right there, beat him to the spot.
And it was a good route. It was a good throw. It was just better defense.
So here we go, 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Lakota West having a chance here to make something happen, really based on one big play.
They have twins on each side.
One back in there with Bolden. Haven't had much success running the ball. There he goes back. Mason sends an extra guy. Oh, what a play.
What a play.
Wow. So you're going to see this. The 2 receivers right, going to bring them back across the middle. Yep. Lloyd's going to cut to the outside.
It's a little bit of a rub play, kind of.
There's those Lakota West lights.
You have one clear out and then the other cut to the out. And
we'll see the replay here. Yep. You're going to see that. We're going to see Lloyd's the inside receiver. Yep. So if we watch this, you're going to see Remy on the outside is going to go, and that's just a great pattern.
Nice.
So they've got a number of names for it, but it's a pivot route, right? Yep. Lloyd comes into the inside, basically like in basketball, does a step and reverse pivots away and wide open for the touchdown.
Uh-oh.
Snap.
They're going to have to fake it.
Yeah, they're going to throw the ball to the. Here comes Tyler Bond.
Oh my goodness.
Tyler's going to try to beat him to the corner.
Fumbled out of bounds.
Lost the ball. Did not make it. Great effort by Tyler Bond. So I didn't get a great angle to see if the snap was a little high. We'll see what happens here. But Holder realized he couldn't get the ball down. He throws it to Bond. Yep. The kicker tries to cut to the corner and just didn't quite have the speed to get there. But
it was actually a solid emergency play, right? An ice play or fire play, whatever you call them.
And that was Aaron Peters, number 6, who's the holder, and was heads up there, right? I mean, the ball. You couldn't get the ball down for the kick, so a little bit of a blip, but still 9:37 to go, 16 in the third quarter, 16-7 Lakota West. And really, wow, one big play.
It was one big play, and it was all Bolden scrambling and his receiver seeing what he was doing.
So, and that was Trent Lloyd. Trent Lloyd actually had 3 nice plays on that drive. Yep. I mean, a great route for the touchdown.
It was a great route.
I mean, like I said, he looked like he cut in there and did a reverse pivot. And you know what the nice thing is, as he opened up, Bolden put the ball on him.
Right.
Gave him the ball in space. Now, there was no defender there, but even if there was, I like my chances right now with Trent Lloyd one-on-one.
Well, that's clearly one of their favorite plays because the timing was really, really good on it. I wouldn't be surprised if you see that a couple more times this game.
Here goes Tyler Bond kicking. Ball's, you can't return it out of the end zone here in high school.
Okay.
So once the ball crosses the goal line, even if you're not allowed to return it, it's automatically out to the 20. See what we got going on here. We got the clock was still running. See what's going on here. The official.
I think they're going to have to call the radio guy again and have him call up to the clock guy.
So I'm imagining that the clock didn't stop timely. Now, it's odd to me that this official who asked about who he needed to talk to if this happened has had it happen twice. When we don't see it very often in high school, right? I mean, usually you're talking about a second or two.
Is it because he's not giving them the hands up?
I don't know. Or perhaps this is an official who is intimately aware of the clock. Mason under center, 1st and 10. See what they can do.
Here we go. Back to the run game.
Yeah, and you know what?
Nice, good drive.
Got a good push there, so he's going to advance that
4
ball
or 5
out.
yards.
Almost 5 yards. Wow. So good run, and that's what Mason did. I think, so in the first half, 23 carries, 72 yards for Mason, a little over 3 yards a carry. But you know what? You get 4 plays, and they took 3 plays a lot to get it.
Yeah, and compare that to Lakota West, 12 attempts and 22 yards. The difference there is Mitch Bolden is 7 for 5 with 90 yards. So.
Right. And that's the thing. Mitch has had some successes throwing the ball. So here we go, 2nd and 6 for Mason. We're going to run the ball again. No real surprise there. He's going to gain about another 1.5 yards. So as we saw in the first half, Mason is perfectly happy, limiting the possessions in the game, just pounding the ball. And, they're not going to score from 80 yards out doing it this way. But they had an interception, started at the 30 and punched it in, right?
Right. And the hope is you wear that defensive line down, right? And then you start moving the ball even more. I don't see them being able to pass on this defensive back core that Lakota West has, but they do seem to be able to move the ball a little bit on the ground. I'm surprised they haven't tried a little more on the outside, but maybe that's because of the West speed.
So Larson Brown has played a lot at quarterback number 5. He's back there in the shotgun. So kind of fakes it 2 ways. He's going to throw it deep, and so Drew Minnick,
Nice
number
try.
10, was in perfect position. Receiver made a nice move on the ball at the end to almost step back in front of Minnick, but Minnick had that played perfectly.
It was covered. You're right. The receiver did make a good adjustment to get into the ball, but I think he was playing defense more
Look
at
at
that moment.
Minnick was just perfectly
Yep.
right inside of him, hands off him, just running down the field. You know, and obviously, here we go, punt situation. Wow, Ben Minnick
Almost blocked.
Ben almost blocked it. I was mentioning the brother. Nice job there by Remy. What he did is, was able to knock the ball to bounds, so it didn't continue rolling.
Right.
I think it might have gotten out of bounds anyway, but good thinking that he's willing to make that kind of effort.
Well, those balls bounce funny,
They,
and it could easily have bounced
It's
back in the
not
middle. So what he
round.
did was exactly right.
it is an oblong ball.
Yeah.
So but still, Lakota West, as we talked before, when your punter can get a touchback, man, it's amazing how many times you start out with 1st and 10 around
Right.
midfield or your own 40-yard line, which field position is huge in a game like this where neither offense has been overwhelming. Here we go. So, Lakota West is up more than a score, up 9 points right now.
I think we'll see more of the same from Lakota West. Sweep, pass, Bolden, draw play.
It's interesting, right? I mean,
That's their playbook.
normally we would think, well, they would try to get a little conservative here and just run the
There's
ball.
your sweep.
Just nothing there, maybe a half yard.
Yeah.
I think he got over the 40, but boy, not much. That's Lloyd coming around. But, the thing is, normally you get in these situations and Lakota West would be able to run the ball and, finish out a game.
Yeah.
Mason's not having any of that. I mean, they are playing the run extremely effectively, and even more effectively, as you mentioned. They are doing a great job stopping Mitch Bolden. I mean, he is a weapon as a scrambler, and has not been effective. It's been interesting, right? Just they've been rushing for the most part. Keep giving him some time to throw the ball, but when he doesn't have anybody, that next layer of the Mason defense is right there to keep it for not much. Going to throw the ball out to Lloyd. Look at that quick acceleration.
Right.
He's going to get about 8.5. It's going to be 3rd and short.
Sweep, pass,
And that's run.
draw
right?
play up the middle.
Right, yeah. And that's run, right? I mean, we can call that a pass. It is a pass.
Yeah,
But
that's
all you did is got Lloyd the ball wide as a running back
That's getting it outside, right?
and said, let's
getting your best players the ball in space.
one-on-one instead of trying to run the ball through 6 or 7 defenders. Looks like we got a little bit of confusion here, what play call we want. The entire offense looking over at the sideline. Still 13 seconds on the play clock. See what they decide to do here. They're making the play. 6 seconds to go on the count. Looks like if
They've got it all stacked up in the middle, don't they?
They sure do. He's going to go back, as you said.
Nice broke it
handoff.
outside. Nice
yeah,
play.
that's Junior Gonzalez, I believe, number 24.
That's some power running there.
It
He's
is.
still on his feet. Look at him go.
Yeah, as often happens, right, it's 3rd or 4th and short, and if you bust through the line of scrimmage, all of a sudden it becomes, 5 or 8 yard or 10 yard or touchdowns. Nice job there. That's hadn't had a lot of carries so far today, but he made something happen with that one. So
yeah, there was a he looked like he ran with some anger there. It looked
did.
like he was saying, "Give me the ball again, coach."
I think he had
Right?
he had 1 carry for no yards in the first half. I think
Yep.
he said, "Coach."
I can run the ball. That's what it looked like to me.
And you know what? It's funny because you look at like Mason where they run the ball for 3 yards a carry, but it's been effective just the way they've done it.
Right.
You're the Lakota West offensive line and running backs are like, hey, I could run the ball for 3.5
exactly
yards. Give me a few shots.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens here. They're going to
Another
bring
sweep.
Yep. As you said,
Good
that,
game.
that jet sweep, and this
Wow,
time
he is hard to bring down, isn't he?
you look at it, it doesn't make sense,
but
right?
you can't arm tackle him. He runs out of the arm tackle.
Another late flag.
Uh-oh.
Looks like that might be, there's 2 flags. Okay, there's a flag in the Lakota West backfield, or it might have been near the line of scrimmage on the play, and then one back after the tackle. So
Right around the linebacker level.
So
there.
see what we have here. It looks like it's been a little chippy, right? We've seen both teams moving around a little bit out here. Let's see what they do. It looks like maybe number 14, Brennan Remy, was right around the flag. He seems to be talking to Coach Bolden that it's.
I haven't really seen anything really egregious though.
They're
just playing hard. They're getting into running in a little late after the play.
I talked with Malik Hartford's father out there. He got the penalty in the end zone there ripped the ball loose maybe after the guy's in the end zone, and that's what he's asking is, well, what did he do? I said, well, it's almost like they were worried that more's going to happen, so they're trying to be a little bit aggressive. I mean, this is a real rivalry.
They called it on both sides. They called the number 20 when he had the guy down.
There we go.
And said stay down. Right?
So there you go, dead ball, and it's going to be a dead ball in Lakota West. So that's gonna hurt. Field position wise, since it's
still
a dead ball, it's still going to be 1st and 10. They just but they're back to the 45-yard line. Yeah. Coach Bolden doesn't.
Instead of having a 60-yard drive, now they're going to have a different 60-yard drive.
Now what's interesting is there were 2 flags, but yet and the flags were fairly far apart.
Right.
So it's surprising that it was the same penalty. But here we go. Bolden back, 1st and 10 from his own 45-yard line. He's got Lloyd in the backfield with him. He's going to hand the ball off. He's going to bounce it outside. Nice block on the corner.
Play.
They're going to call it. They're going to call it. Yeah, number 26 there on the corner. That's Giovanni Wilson. Came back and chipped the defense, set the edge for Lakota West. I would assume from the flag, and there is a couple of them out there. I'm assuming that's what they must have called. I saw him come through. I saw him set the edge on the Mason player. I didn't tell where he actually made, and they're going to call it a hold. So I guess he just. Wrap him up.
Once again, back on the 40 or thereabouts after penalties.
So here we're going to see it. We're going to see on the end there's 52, and it was there it is, 52 right on the edge for Lakota West. Darn it, that's going to take them back. That's Caden Fletcher. But I just want to comment.
43.
I just want to comment that Lakota West has done a great job pass protection tonight.
Yep.
So obviously, when you're an offensive lineman, we normally point out only when you make a mistake, right?
Oh, yeah. No, they're doing a phenomenal job.
So here was
Don't get me wrong.
Now here was an Israel.
Fumble.
Bolden drops the ball.
Turnover.
It looks like Mason's got it
right at the 50-yard line. Yep.
So what happened here is, it looked like we were going to try to do a screen to number 24, Junior Gonzalez. Gonzalez, you see, he's popping out for a screen. He gets hit, which
number 55 punches the ball out. I think.
So they'll see here, and there's Bolden. Yep, the guy comes from the outside, 40. Yeah.
He just didn't have it tucked away all the way, right? He had it in front of him, but it wasn't up against his body.
So some conversation here, and I think what we have is it looked like Bolden almost was on the ground with the ball, but I don't think it was secured. Mm-hmm. So when we saw that replay, you could see.
Can we see that replay?
Yeah,
again?
He got his hands on it, so it looked like it was going to be down. But I think the.
There we go. Here it is.
So
no, it's on the ground.
No, I'm going to say right here at the end. So it looks like. Oh, and there's
face.
Wow. There's one. I don't see the flag.
Dead ball flag.
I see the orange marker for the ball being loose. Wow, what a benefit for Lakota West.
Is it?
Yeah, so
that's not a dead ball flag.
No, it's so what's going to happen there is, fortunately for Lakota West, they
automatic first down.
So we're going to see, so so let's see what they're
15 yards.
No, it's going to be an incidental face mask, so it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. So now it's going to be 1st and 15 for Lakota West, but takes away the turnover.
Right.
So a 5-yard penalty, but a huge penalty. And
it is huge when they cough the ball up and you get it. Mason had a really good opportunity there. Did a good job of closing in on him and forcing the ball loose. But
so here's Lloyd going down. Now there's
quarterback draw.
That's more of what we're used to, and you're going to see about 4 or 5 yards from
Poland.
From Mitch. And what they did there, right? They faked. They've run a lot of the guys wide, throw it out to the running backs. This time it was obvious he intended to run the ball on a draw. Just tried to get something a little bit different. Fakes to the right, And really what's happened is that linebacker layer is just they're really just kind of playing and waiting.
Right.
A little bit of an umbrella coverage there, which I guess is why we've had some open receivers deep, because the linebackers aren't underneath.
Yeah, those linebackers are a good 5 yards off the line of scrimmage.
So here we go, 2nd and 11 for Lakota West.
Which is really
2 receivers are going to cut down. He's going to zip one in there. Caught, nice gain. It's going to be real close to the first down.
Good route, good pass.
And, that's one thing with Trent Lloyd. I mean, as good a job as he does keeping his feet and making people miss, he's got really good hands, too.
Right.
Look at this. Watch this. He's going to throw it down right at the sideline, gets both feet in. You only need one here, but both feet in, had the right route depth, got the first down. So after all this, right, going backwards, forwards, fumble, called it back, it's 1st and 10, Lakota West, 35-yard line. And
with
what's
3 minutes and 44 seconds to go in the
So
game.
what's happened is,
or a quarter,
right? Lakota West has had the ball for quite a while here,
right,
without anything really happening. But they're sitting there at the 35-yard line, and really have a chance here if they could finish this drive out, go up 2 scores. Here we go again. We're going to fix the clock.
Many years ago on TV, they had the Battle of the Network Stars, and they would have a tug of war. So that's what it reminds me of, is a tug of war in the middle of the field, and you'd have, the NFC versus the AFC pulling back and forth. So now here we are back on Mason's 40,
so,
right?
And here we go. They raise the clock back to 3:51. It's not going to start till the snap. So here we go. Lakota West, 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Up 16-7 here with 3:51 to go in the 3rd quarter. See what happens here. The longs count, trying to get something to happen. Going to run the ball right to the middle.
Nice run play.
Yeah, nice run from
good gain.
Lloyd again. Looks like he's going to get about 4.5 yards, and that works. Especially now if you're Lakota West. Boy, you'd love to spend about 3.5 minutes
running the ball
and then score a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, if you're the offensive line there, we see number 52, Caden Fletcher. We commented early about where he had a penalty. On this time, he had a really nice block.
I just hope West does not shoot themselves in the foot again with, more penalties, because that just makes it harder and harder. You're keeping your offensive line out longer than you necessarily have to.
Quick pass from Bolden. Tried to get the ball to Remy, but over his head. And that was a little challenging because defense got some penetration. So Bolden tried to throw it over somebody and drop it right in there to Remy. And
it was really a pretty good loft. Now, at the next level, those receivers will be able to reach higher and jump higher, and that ideally is for a running back or a tight end.
So here we go, 3rd and 6 for Lakota West. Big play here. 3:07 to go. Clock stopped after the incompletion. One back in the backfield along with Bolden. 1 top, 2 bottom receivers. He's going to go back. He's scrambling. Didn't see. He held on to the ball.
Oh, did he? I thought he dropped it.
Didn't see number 21 coming from the outside there, and he was able to finish him off. So that's Jake Bates, a 5'9", 185-pound senior. He's been out. He was had some tackles, but he's been out injured, so he's back tonight, and that's a big sack for him.
It's 4th and really long.
From the 40-yard line.
Are they going to try and field goal?
I don't think they are here. That'd be 57 yards. We got Minnick,
oh, my goodness.
Minnick back to punt.
I need to work on my math skills, Brent.
I don't think he'll fake this one. I mean, 4th and 15's a long way to go.
It's a punt.
So we'll see what see with Minnick. With his rugby style, he'll probably hold the ball in the backfield here a little bit before he punts. Give the defense a chance to get down there. Tries to kick it way up in the air.
A little better than that, but that wasn't bad.
Not
you got
much.
It down by the 20.
See where they spot it. They're going to walk back and line it up.
23.
Yeah, I think it's got to be close to the 30. There you go, 27-yard line.
Yep.
So not much yards on the short punt, although that's a tough place to punt from.
That is. When you're trying to angle it out of bounds, it's very difficult.
That's a lost art, right? In the old days, Ray Guy, Pat McEnroe,
that's all I did.
They could punt that ball out of bounds inside the 20, inside the 10. Now they stop that, right? Now what do? They just punt it way high and let everybody run under it.
Right.
So just a different game, different skill set there. So Mason, great stop.
Right.
Great field position, Lakota West, couple good plays, and nothing for it.
Right plays at the right time.
And really, this is one of the better starting spots Mason's had at their own 27-yard line there.
This half, yep.
So here we go. I mean, other than that one interception,
They're
good pressure. He's
better,
chasing him down. He's just gonna throw it about into the nice catch from the Lakota West bench. Looks like Tabron Benny Powell there, number 3, coming up a little bit gimpy after that play.
That was half getting rid of it and half putting it in a spot that maybe one of his receivers could have caught it.
Yeah, that was
a little high.
Yeah, and the challenge there was the defensive pressure.
Right.
Ran him out of the pocket that direction, so it took away half the field and had him on the run.
And he wasn't going to outrun them.
There you have it. So it's 2nd and 10. Nice pressure from the defensive right side there from Lakota West. Back in the shotgun, one back. He's probably going to hand the ball up the middle. There we go. No surprise there.
Fall forward.
Yeah, maybe 3.
Yeah.
We say maybe. I mean, again, I get it. If you can get 3 twice and 4 once, you get a first down. I mean, it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
That's right.
I mean,
it's old school.
But
power football, right?
They don't realize we're on field turf, so there's not a whole lot of dust.
Yeah.
Those are rubber pellets, right? That bounce
Right.
up. But it's 3rd and 7, and Mason has tried to make a living tonight in 3rd and long.
Yeah, but I haven't seen them do anything similar to what West does, a sweep or a counter or QB option rollout.
So
bootleg
quarterback's
pass.
under center again. They're good pressure
Tearing it
late.
up.
He just thrown it up in the air.
And he caught it.
Nice. Bobbling it.
Did he bobble it? Nope.
Yeah, he's bobbling it. Yeah, he caught it, but you could see as he landed he was inbounds, had his hands on it, the ball came loose, and he kept it in his hands.
There was some people on the bench there that was.
Yeah. The defensive player here did not get his head turned around, covering him down the field there, Minnick. So you'll see he's going to have in his hands, looks like a catch,
Good
but
defense.
you see the ball's still moving around.
He did catch it, but he was out of bounds.
So close, but
very
no
good,
cigar.
Very good try. Good defense.
But he just threw it up for grabs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, blocked. Lakota West
that's 6
rushes
points.
through, blocks it. Oh, boy. Oh, Ben Minnick. No, Ben Minnick picks up the blocked punt.
So close to a scoop and score, right?
And didn't realize he had all the time in the
Right.
world. The only guys close were other defenders.
He could have grabbed it and backpedaled in.
Look at that. Coach Bolden's laughing at him.
Yeah.
So here we go off the outside.
Beautiful block,
nice
though.
block. Look at great angle in front of the punter. Minnick just does that and just trips. The turf monster reached up and grabbed him.
That's
But it will.
right.
But all aside, great punt block. Did you catch the number on that block?
Number 13.
13 got the return. I wasn't sure who actually put his
I
hand
thought
on.
he was the same one to block it.
I don't think so. I think the
Okay.
blocker went past it to the right. Here we go. 1st and goal for Lakota West. A lot of good pressure. Nice throw and catch. He's actually going to lose a yard.
Yeah. A little flat pass.
Yeah, right there to Junior Gonzalez.
Yeah. That's a good play there, though. Getting your running back in the game.
So here we go. Yeah, they actually maybe lost a yard. So here we'll see it. He's just going to go right out of the backfield, leak out. And a nice play. Right, just great coverage in the middle of the defense there, number 33.
He wasn't going to hang on to the ball any longer than that.
Yep, that's the safety, Sean Kruckenberg. Nice play. 14 seconds to go on the play clock, 32 on the game clock here in the 3rd quarter. See if Lakota West gets this play off. They do have to get it off before the quarter ends. 2nd and goal. They get the snap off just in time. Tried to throw that same play
There's
out
the
there.
hands up.
He got the hands up, but that was that same play
Yep.
where Lloyd was open, scored the touchdown earlier, but the defender got his hands on it.
Yep.
So ball was not able to be completed, so we're still going to have 20 seconds. Actually, I think it's see what happens there. Yep, he may not have gotten in the end zone, but he was certainly going to get close.
That was the play they got the touchdown on.
Yep, that was it.
previously.
So, and you know what? They didn't adjust to the receiver much, but they sure adjusted to the passing lane. So big play here, right? 3rd and 9 for Lakota West. They're 3rd and goal. I mean, boy, you'd like to get points out of this. I mean, it was one they definitely could have scored on. Here it is.
There's the touchdown.
Oh my gosh, blown coverage. Well, that was big. I tell you, that was huge. Gonzalez with the touchdown.
I think instead of attacking the quarterback, that defensive end or linebacker should have dropped off into coverage there.
We'll see it again here. So just
See,
straight
there
out.
he is.
Yep.
He 44. He should have picked up number 24.
Just
That
straight
was
out
his
of the
guy.
backfield. Yeah,
Yep.
there was no way that you saw the safety. There's no way the safety was going to get there in time.
I mean, if it was a blitz, that's one thing, but Bolin hit his hot route, so that was a really, really good play called at the right time.
And normally, it was, a little bit there. Those kick from Bond up and good. Normally, we've seen that the back has gone up the middle and leaked out. This time, he did more of a wheel route.
Right.
And maybe the guy missed it, right? Missed the read because he wasn't doing what he expected.
Well, he had sack in mind, right? I want to get the quarterback. That's the mindset is everything, and that's what makes players attack, right?
So huge. So I'll jokingly say the offense picked up Ben Minnick, who picked up the blocked punt and tripped on it himself.
Yeah.
And to give him first and goal instead of a touchdown on the blocked punt. But the offense on 3rd down and 9 was able to put it in the end zone. So great success.
Yes.
Here we are with 14 seconds to go in the third quarter. Lakota West 23, Mason 7. It reminds me a little of the Princeton game where Lakota West, it's kind of like something coming downhill. Mason stopped him a little bit, but before you know it, now it's a 16-point game. And you know what? What do we expect here? I expect Bond's going to kick it through the end zone. They're going to start at their 20. They're probably going to get maybe a first down run, and they're going to punt the ball somewhere in the midfield range. Lakota West is going to have a chance to score again and say no, game's over.
Right. And the offenses have really been just good enough to burn the clock. And then the points have been scored off turnovers, block punts, interceptions.
So a little bit of a spinning kickoff from Bond.
Yeah.
So actually returnable this time, so instead of the 20, they're going to start at the 23.
Yeah.
I tell you, that's a weapon. I mean, the fact that, this time he didn't kick it in the end zone, but even with that great coverage, they still stopped him inside the 25.
Mason really needs some points here. 3 possessions now.
Yeah. What's interesting to me, when I played back in the day, right, and yes, we had helmets and all that stuff, but barely. Our coach, if the kick coverage team kept the other team inside the 30, we were Tigers. That was a tiger paw on the helmet.
Yeah.
And the theory was that he did the statistics, and when a team started the ball inside their own 30, they scored like it was less than 10% of the time.
That's probably right.
And, that was the thing. So, good coverage.
Oh,
pick
my
6.
gosh. That's
Malik Hartford.
That's it. He jumped the route. It was a perfect play on the defense.
Remember, he jumped the route earlier and almost got the pick?
Yeah.
So
here it worked for him.
Yeah, he went to school.
Nice
he was
job.
one step faster or quicker or better read.
Yeah.
And
not only that, he had other people covering the receiver. I'm not sure why the pass was made there, because you'll see on the replay, there's 2 or 3 guys standing right by the receiver.
Good pressure from Asbeck right there, right in his face. And there it is. You see both safeties, Minnick, Hartford right there.
They were right there.
So Malik takes it in the end zone. But all kidding. I mean, there is a reason he's a top 100 player in the country. Right. There's a reason he's going to one of the top 3 programs in the country, Ohio State. They don't take just everybody.
Right.
So the fact that he almost did that earlier and he took this one to the house now.
That's the reason why he could go anywhere in the country.
That's not a shock. So we actually have a penalty at the end of the play that will be assessed on the kickoff. But the other thing was interesting. Somebody asked a question. He got a personal foul, a little bit of whatever extracurricular after the play, nothing significant.
He was playing hard.
And somebody asked him, or asked his father, said, "Hey, what does Ohio State think about that?" And they're like, "It's perfectly fine. That's not at all a penalty once you get there next year."
Right.
And when we say, "Well, come on, he's a high school kid. Is he going to play next year?" Jair Brown, last year alum from Lakota West, is starting now for Ohio State at cornerback.
Absolutely.
So
freshmen start all the time.
So it's realistic that these kids can get out there, and certainly an athlete like Malik Hartford, it would not be a shock to see him on special teams. He's on special teams here.
Right.
He actually also. Oh, and there we go into the third quarter. Lakota West 30, and Mason 7. We're back here at Firebird Stadium on the campus of Lakota West, and the last 14 seconds of the third quarter has turned this game from a defensive struggle to the route is on.
Right.
Lakota West scored twice in the last 14 seconds and now lead 30-7.
14 points in 14 seconds. That's a pretty good average.
And that was a touchdown, a blocked punt. Left them with a first and goal that they scored, and then a pick 6 from Malik Hartford.
Right.
And you know what? And the big names there, right? I mean, Ben Minnick picked up the punt and almost returned it for a touchdown. Malik Hartford
with the pick 6.
So no shock there. Some of the names you see, and that's the thing. I mean, it's like, why would they throw that there? Mason has shown their passing game is immature compared to Lakota West defensive secondary.
Right, it's not their strength.
Right,
right,
it's not there.
Their strength is between the tackles, running the ball. That's pretty obvious right now. But when you're down,
that was an interesting kick.
Three.
Bond bounced. Oh, Lakota West might recover. They did.
Oh my goodness.
So Lakota West, I don't know what was going on there. Bond kicked a bouncing ball. All Mason had to do is fall on it. They
like a squib.
They would have the ball at their own 40, but
it's like a squib kick.
He was trying to find the handle on it. There was just no handle sewn on this ball. Look, it keeps bouncing.
That's because the ball is shaped funny.
And there you go.
We talked about that earlier.
I believe that's number 50, if I have that right. It looked like Aaron Cayo, I think number 50, got the recovery.
That's just heads up football right there.
And I assume, we've seen Bond kick all year. I assume it was on purpose, that end over end kick.
Well, if it wasn't, it might be the next time.
Here we go, first and 10, Lakota West from the Mason 40-yard line. 4 receivers and out, and 1 back in the backfield with Bolden. Pumps twice, got Minnick going deep wide open.
Run it.
But he's going to run it. But if you look down the field, look at Ben Minnick, number 13 is uncovered. Number 26 was covered, or one guy was going to cover them both. But, credit to Mitch Bolden. It wasn't, he didn't see it as quick. There's a pump fake, then another. And I think he's like, hey, you know what? I've got a gap.
Yep.
And as we've seen all year, he's pretty effective, that 9-yard run. What we've seen the first 3 quarters of this game running the ball, it's been a challenge. Credit to Mason. But Mitch is a good running quarterback, that's for sure.
Well, here they are.
Look at look at number 4, Trent Lloyd. He was going to try to take it all the way back the other way. He's still going to get the first down, gain of 5.
Yep.
But did you see that? He was coming on the jet sweep, and Mason finally had come up and set the edge. He looked at cutting it all the way back the other way. You could see him do it. He's right here. He comes to the right.
It's just good vision.
He's like,
right here.
oh, is there a hole there?
Yeah.
And then he realized there was 2 defenders. Cut it right up the middle and still got 5. So nice play, first and 10 for Lakota West. Right here. This quickly they've got 2 touchdowns, and now they've got the ball back, knocking at the door inside the 30-yard line.
Really, they just need to pound the ball at him at this point and burn that clock down.
It's hard not to think if you're Mason. Right? You're, it's that time of the game where it's like, man, we had him, right?
There's a first down.
That was a first down gain of about 1 or 2. That's Scotty Johnson, number 8, with the catch. He was, the receiver out there. They threw just a quick little out pattern, and ball led him to the ground, so not many yards after catch. But, but it's one more thing that you now would have to defend. Right. I don't know if that ball did get touched, if that's why it was a little bit low, or just, low throw. So second down and 9 to go for Lakota West. Now, as you said, clock continues to run. It's going to be under 10 minutes, leading by 23 points here in the fourth quarter. And this big GMC matchup, right? These two teams were leading the pack at 5-0 in the lead.
Play.
Here goes Lloyd. See if he can get around the corner. Good vision.
Good
still
run.
On his feet.
Really good cut back.
In backs forward. Right. He backs in. It's another first down, but he rarely gets tackled without gaining more yards at the end of the play.
Right.
And that's what you love as an offensive lineman, right, man? If you can make that 3-yard gain 4, that 4-5, watch this. So good blocking on the outside. Caden Fletcher with effective. Might have had the hands out just a bit, but hey, it worked out.
Well, they seem to be trying to tackle the ball as well, which is a smart play at this point when you're down more than 20 points. And they need to be aggressive and try and get that ball back, but you can't let the guy escape.
So I'm assuming this is going to be a screen because it was a jailbreak.
Right.
Just didn't have a chance to get it set up over there. So he's going to be tackled, or he's going to throw the ball away. It'll be third down and 9 or 10 yards to go for Lakota West.
So, Brent, when do you start putting in your 2s?
So here's the key. If they put a touchdown on the board now, and make the extra point, you're running clock.
Yeah. So,
at that point, I think you have to, because there's probably only 1 series left for each team.
Right.
So, and that's the challenge of the 30-point rule, right? This is a game that for the 14 seconds or whatever, maybe 20 seconds less of 3 quarters was a dogfight.
Right.
And now, with 9 minutes to go, we're almost to a running clock.
Right.
Mercy rule. So that's how quick that can change.
Well, that's Lakota West. They're that explosive. They're that dangerous on both sides of the ball. They can throw deep. They can run the ball on those jet sweeps. Bolden can bolt for 60 yards at a time. And then on defense, you see the great talent they have in the defensive backs, the defensive line, making people cough the ball up, turn the ball over, bad passes, interceptions. It's just a really, really balanced program for Lakota West.
You can't take any plays off, offense, defense, or special teams
Right.
against this group.
Right.
And that's the tough thing, right? I mean, you just can't take a break, or else it can get away from you.
I mean, this will be Mason's first loss in the conference.
Right. And yet,
It's going to be
we're 12 yards and an extra point from a mercy rule.
It's going to be close to 30 points.
Here you go. He gets rid of it before he hit.
And that's a touchdown.
And that's Brennan Remy. Nice throw. Mitch Bolden might be hurt. He absolutely got lit up from the backside by number 45 for Mason.
Let's see a replay
as he released the ball.
Thank you.
We're going to see that, right? So you watch, 45 is going to come around the outside. Bolden fakes, and he puts a helmet in his back, or shoulder in his back.
Yeah.
Perfectly thrown ball.
Yeah,
Look
great
at that.
catch.
Nice play. Nice hands from
High
Brennan
point,
Remy.
High point the ball. It was a great play.
Brennan Remy, that's his second touchdown tonight. And you know what? That's not his first game with 2 touchdowns in a
I would be
game.
putting someone in other than number 7 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, so here we go.
That was a pretty hard hit.
Extra point is good. Yeah, and it was perfectly legal.
There he is.
Backside, shoulder, right, shoulder into the ribs. I mean, it was nothing dirty. It's just a hard hit. And, you know.
Oh, no, it was a great, clean, unabated.
And,
right?
Mitch Bolden stood right where he needed to, waited for Remy to get open, lofted a perfect pass. So here you'll see 45 coming across the top of the screen there.
Yep, untouched.
You know, really, nobody, there he goes, shoulder right in his back. But just what a throw, catch, touchdown. And we're now sitting at a running clock going forward. So
I had not pictured this.
With 9:03 to go, Lakota West 37 and Mason 7. If you're on Mason, you're like, what happened?
I pictured a fourth quarter West, dominant fourth quarter for Lakota West, but I didn't picture this.
And think about this, right? From blocked punt, started the ball inside the 5 or 10, interception for a touchdown, kick recovered at the other team, at Mason's 40. I mean, boom, boom, boom. It's been a pretty effective 4 minutes for Lakota West, and that's offense, defense, and special teams, right?
Right.
All
21
cylinders.
points in 4 minutes is a good thing.
So here you go. They Mason, kick was caught within the 5-yard line, advances it out again to the 22-23.
And I hope Mason doesn't get down on themselves because they've played a really pretty solid game until these last few minutes.
Now that's number 50, Aaron Cayo, who had the fumble recovery earlier, with a tackle here on this kickoff. So he's been involved in 2 nice plays here in a row on kick coverage. We're going to see it. Pack's going to bring the ball up. Here comes 50 right up the middle.
Nice
Look at that.
tackle.
Puts a shoulder, holds on. I mean, just a nice play.
Yep.
So a fumble recovery, a tackle inside the 25 at the 24-yard line. 2 really nice plays. And, Lakota West seemed to be just ho-humming around. All of a sudden, all three parts of the team are humming.
It's an impressive win for West because this Mason team is a really stout team, both running the ball and on defensive front line.
So here we go. We're under 9 minutes, 8:18 to go. 30-point lead. We do still see the starters out there for Lakota West. I'm a little surprised.
I am too.
I mean, it's been a hard-pressed game. It's been hard-fought. Defense has been good all night.
I don't think they have style points in high school, do they? I mean, really, it's a ranking. They're ranked 3rd in the state. They're virtually, all they need to do is win a few more games, and they're pretty much locked up in the playoffs.
Well, of course, in this division, you're locked in the playoffs. Everybody but 2 teams in the region make it.
Yeah, so.
And score has nothing to do with the playoffs. It only has, there's a run
Records,
up the middle.
right?
It only has to do with the Cincinnati Enquirer or the state polls,
Right.
which are voted on by people who don't even see most of the teams play. So
That makes sense.
Take that
right?
for what it's worth.
Yeah.
But the key to this is, and I heard some subs coming into the game there. Elijah Davis coming out. So we see see somebody heading out there for Lakota West. Always good to see. Looks like Manny Boki coming out there. But clock running almost to 7 minutes. Will be 7 minutes before this 3rd and 5 from Mason. Here's the thing too, though, right? I mean, if you're looking at it, when you look at a score and you see it was a mercy rule, it's more than 30. Does it really matter if it's 30 or 40? I don't. That's where I don't think it matters, right? Because once you get to that, oh boy,
he's done.
Oh boy,
Yeah,
that was a jailbreak.
yeah.
So 44 Markley was the. I think the guy's going to get credit for the sack there, Micah Markley. But we also saw number 11 Asbeck out there putting some pressure on him. Number 5 Michael Brandkamp involved in the pressure.
It was the whole defensive line.
What do they used to say? A host
of defensive line.
defensive players, right? You can see him there, but just
that's a linebacker.
2 from the outside. There's Brandkamp. There's Asbeck and Markley. But we also see Tabron Benny Powell, number 3, was back there.
Yeah, Mason's lucky they didn't punch the ball out and cough it up.
There's a punt again, and Remy's going to catch it, and a nice play. There's going to advance out to 50. The ball was rolling, might have gone for another 5 or 8 or 10 yards.
Looks like we have the number 2.
There they have it. So so from the offensive perspective, and again, I mean, I'm not picking on anybody out there. I mean, you never know for sure what's going on, what you've told players, what they're trying to accomplish. So there's other variables involved, but
right.
I just know when you get to this running clock, there's under 6 minutes already. So that was 3 and out, and it took over 3 minutes.
Right.
So there's just not many possessions. So we'll see what happens here. Lakota West, we got some
run the ball.
we got some new names out there. He's going to get it. Yeah, gets it around the corner. So that's number 15 now at quarterback. That's Nolan Parker, and run by number 29. That's Cordell Atkins. Nice run, gains 8 or 9 yards.
Yeah, it was really good. Just straight.
See if we can catch.
Straight off tackle, but he had to work it a little bit outside.
See if we can catch who was there. I mean, had to be some good blocks on the outside because he was, the edge was sealed. He was running downhill. Here we go again, coming the other side.
Looks like he.
It's going to be just a bit short. We're going to be 3rd and 1 at the 40-yard line. That was number 0 running the ball this time. That would be Devion McCoy. So seeing a lot of names, and we'll try to catch some of these guys on the offensive line as well if we can.
And I'm glad you're here because I know you have them all by memory.
We see some guys out there. I see Jacob Stoffer, number 20, out there. It looks like a receiver. No, he also plays catcher on the baseball team.
Oh, there you go.
Little fun facts added out there.
And that means he's a total athlete if he's a catcher.
So here we go. Parker back in shotgun. Switching the protection there. You saw Coach jumping on the sideline, 4:30 to go. Tries to run the ball right up the middle, and we'll see the spot. I thought he was going to get it for sure, but you know what?
He got stood up right at the 40.
So he's going to be past the 40, but not to the 39.
Right.
I think we're going to be 4th and about a half yard. So that's what it looks like. Needs to get pretty much right on the 39-yard line. It looked like he was running a little bit upright. I think if he had a little more.
They're going for it.
If he would have had a little more lean to it, I think he would have got it. Offensive line is a little bit off the line of scrimmage there, as they're going to run the ball that way. We're going to see McCoy again, and he's no.
I don't think he got it.
So he bounced outside, and I think he had it, and he bounced outside, and they marked him.
All he had to do was stick the ball out a little bit, and he would have.
If he would have just finished the run up the gut, he had the yard. But did not. So, hey, congratulations. Mason's defense stopped the Lakota West second crew, and they'll have a 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line with the clock still running, 3:33 to go.
Looks like we have the 2s on defense, too.
Yep, and this is probably the last possession of the game. As we watch that clock just run away. So here we go. See what Mason does out here. Looks like a few new faces for them as well.
Yep.
See what we get here. Under center. He's going to run the ball right up the middle. There's a surprise. Well, hey, good tackle, but the good run. And is that still 32? So that is the starting tailback.
They have Sheldon Hibbett in.
Yeah, he's still out there.
6'1", 155, quarterback, wide receiver.
Yeah, he's their leading rusher on the season.
Yeah, he is.
So he is still out there.
Look for him on a bootleg or something like that.
And that is number 2, Quentin Kaler, is at quarterback now, who we talked about also has been, played some quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So looks like Mason maybe he's still trying to push a score here, although, Lakota West with a number of, it looks like the complete second group. And so, sometimes we talk a little about it. He's going to get a decent run to the outside, going to try to tackle him.
Good tackle.
Good tackle. You know what? I mean, it's going to be a 1st down. Gains about 7. But, good experience for the Lakota West second defensive team here going against the Mason's starting running back, quarterback, a lot of the starters. So from that perspective, it's good for them, right? I mean, they're getting a chance. I mean, I still see 76 Ben Fosnot out there starting. Yeah, so this is still the first offense for Mason.
Is that Kaler or is that Hibbett, number 2?
2, I believe, is Kaler, and 32 is Hibbett.
But there's a Sheldon Hibbett who's also a quarterback.
Shelvin?
A 10th grader. Yeah, I think that's him.
Shelvin is definitely 32, so now I don't know if they have a second number 2.
Right here. Sheldon Hibbett.
Interesting, yeah, because I was looking at here, we've got Quentin Kaler as number 2 also.
Yep,
so
this
there's 2 of them.
Shelvin and Sheldon.
Yeah, there's 2 number 2s on their lineup.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's probably Kaler because it looks like it's their first team, and he's been on the first team so far this year. 2nd and 10 for Mason. Clock running almost down to a minute.
I think they have a set of twins on there with Sheldon and Shelvin.
So here we go. He's going to hand the ball back up to Hibbett up the middle, number 32. He's going to gain about, I don't know, that maybe they'll give him 4, so it's going to be 3rd and 6. Clock rolls under a minute. Lakota West up 37-7 over Mason. This was a matchup of teams that were 5-0 in the GMC.
Wow.
Now, one thing that we will note is of Mason's 5 wins in the GMC, all 5 teams are 2-4. So of all the odd things, they have beat up on some of the bottom of the GMC, just the way the schedule falls. But you know what? Those count just the same.
Right. You have to play them all.
It looks like that might be Lakota West offsides with 23 seconds to go. I think that's going to still be short of a first down, and it's actually going to use up a lot of the clock.
It is.
So Mason may get one more play. See how long the official takes to walk it off. Maybe they'll get a play off. We'll see. 7 and running. See if they can. There we go. See if we can get the snap. 3, 2. Yep. They did one last play. There goes Hibbett, 32. He's going to try to run. Going to see if he can get to the end zone. He will not.
Another good play. We'll pad the stats, right?
So there you have it from Firebirds Stadium.
Right.
What was a close game for 2 3/4 quarters.
Yeah, right. It was a great game, and Mason they did a really good job in the first half of the third quarter, running the ball, moving the ball very well, and controlling the game. They really controlled the clock that first half, which is why Lakota West only had a few points, right? They have 10 points at half?
10 points at halftime.
And a 27-point second half with 21 points coming in 4 minutes.
So there you have it.
At the end of the third quarter.
So the final, Lakota West moves to 7-0 with a 37-7 win over Mason. Good night, everybody.
Good night.